Have you ever had difficulty deciphering a message? Hello and welcome to my weekend insight. Now, if this is very similar, well, this is actually the continuation of my Wednesday video, which was all about miscommunication. Now, the reason for that is because the divinity, doesn't communicate in one way with you. It depends on your main form of intuiting things. That is how the divine is going to communicate with you mostly. Okay, so if you are someone who notices things more, if you are aware of stuff more often than not, that is the way that God or your spirit team is, should I say your G Suite, is communicating with you. So like it could be through animals, it could be through numbers, it could be through dreams, it could be through images you see that really are very captivating to you, and so on and so forth. So the version of God that you will call upon is Jehovah Shalom. Alright, and Jehovah Shalom is the Lord your peace. And this is actually going to assist you in all this mayhem that you are going through, okay? And on Wednesday, I talked of how some people prefer one way of intuiting things over another, and how you shouldn't, because if all these things are being sent to you by your subconscious, which is, in my mind, your subconscious mind letting you in on what is about to occur or what is coming in front of you, that is, to me, a very important indication. So you need to look into all of them, but if you have a preference over all the others, that's perfectly fine. That's your preference. Now, in regards to you having to understand that it is going to take time to fully develop all of your intuitive styles, which is mainly the reason why I said, if you prefer one way of intuiting, that's perfectly fine, but you have many. Okay, and so that's what makes this extremely complex, because there are so many different variables that go into any one message sent by the divine. So on top of having to know how you intuit things, and then also having to know how the divine is communicating with you, you need to be able to tell your conscious mind, that it is going to take time to understand what your subconscious is saying. And so in this case, you pray to Jehovah Shalom, who is about peace. So because what you want when you are full of worry and fear is to calm yourself down. And so the scripture cards that I pulled that fell out in regards to helping you come to grips with the fact that fully understanding the divine is going to take time and energy and patience from your part with yourself. And so the two cards that came out, number one, and I haven't read them yet. The first one is Matthew book 5 verse 16, which says, "In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." So what this means is that you need to be the example for others to follow, because if others see you as someone to follow, to listen to, well then, and if you listen to God, and if God is giving you more than others because of how obedient you are, or how much, or should I say, how in tune you are with God. In tune is a better word. Well then, that is going to help you to lead others to fully understanding God, because you are getting it done correctly, and because of that, God is assisting you, right? Because one of my things is, if God is creating this universe through us, or wants to live this experience through us, then if we assist God to understand itself through what we are experiencing, because that's how I see it, then God will definitely help us in our creation, because this universe or this experience that we are living is part of God's creation. And so if we help God create a great creation through our creation, then of course God is going to help us in our creation. And the second card that I pulled is Psalm book 139 verse 13, which says, "For you created my inmost being. You knitted me together in my mother's womb." And if God co-created you with your mother and took the time to put everything together, then it is only understanding that God is going to help you along your way of understanding and deciphering your own intuitive senses. But you need to trust the process. And as I was saying, so my church only listens, well, mainly listens to what they receive in their dreams, which is fine. But if you have the patience and the understanding and the willingness to go through the hurdles of learning how to decipher your own daydreams or your own visions, that is basically a green card from God, and it's going to assist you to experience life the best way you can. But you need to trust God in this process and be willing to go through the process, go through the steps, and go through all of this with God. Because if you don't, then you'll only have part of the equation and you will not be able to take full advantage of everything. So my question to you is, what are you willing to learn to enhance your relationship with God? Ponder that.